Joseph and Potipher's wife in the longest section, not the short. Taking the Bible, beginning and the end. I'm in chapter at a time, chapter 39 of Genesis. Again, Joseph and Potipher's wife. This is the saga of Joseph, one of the saddest stories in the Bible. But now he was sold into Egypt, and now he became into one of the highest general, uh, the captain of the guard. But his wife started looking on him because he was attractive. You don't know nothing till you experience. Ask a handsome person or beautiful woman how they get treated. Anyhow, they also get treated bad, or here that she's the one who tried to rape him and blamed him. Oh boy. Many men, handsome men, have gone through this. Chapter 39 of Genesis. Now Joseph had been taken down to Egypt. Potipher, an Egyptian, who was one of Pharaoh's officials, the captain of the guard, bought him from the Ishmaelites. Remember, his brother sold him to the Ishmaelites. They're traveling to Egypt, who had taken him there. The Lord was with Joseph, meaning protected him, and he prospered Joseph, and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. When his master saw that the Lord was with him and that the Lord gave him success in everything he did, Joseph found favor in his eyes and became his attendant. Potiphar put him in charge of his household, and he entrusted to his care everything he owned. From the time he put him in charge of his household and all that he owned, the Lord blessed the household of the Egyptian because of Joseph. The blessing of the Lord was on everything Potiphar had, both in the house and in the field, so that he left in Joseph's care everything he had. With Joseph in charge, he did not concern himself with anything except the food he ate. Now Joseph was well built and handsome. Well, it says he was well built too, so he had I think he worked out nothing, but he had a good frame, While his master's wife took good physique, a natural physique, took notice of Joseph and said, "Come to bed with me, have sexual relation with me." Verse 8, but he refused because he was a good man. Like women out there today, if a man refuses, like Joseph, who's good looking or something, maybe they think he's homosexual or something. They aren't smart enough to realize maybe he's a Christian. Well, Christianity didn't start here, but he was a God-fearing man. Anyhow, for verse 8, but he refused Joseph when, with me in charge, he told her, my master does not concern himself with anything in the house. Everything he owns he has entrusted to my care. No one is greater in this house than I am. My master has withheld nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. How then could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God? And though she spoke to Joseph day after day, she was persistent here. He refused to go to bed, to copulate, to have sexual relations with her, refused to go to bed with her or even be with her. Right, alone is not good, right? Whatever, temptation or claim something has happened here. One day he went into the house to attend to his duties, and none of the household servants were inside. She caught him by his cloak and said, "Come to bed with me." But he left his cloak in her hand and ran out of the house. And she flipped everything around real bad here. When she saw that he had left his cloak in her hand and had run out the house, she was so mad. She called, and for her wrong too, and then flipped everything. She called her household servants. "Look," she said to them, "this Hebrew Joseph has been brought to us to make sport of us. He came in here to sleep with me, but I screamed." And she thought part of that was probably being scared, thinking he'd tell the masters that So she's flipping the script, that she's basically losing. But I screamed. When he heard me scream for help, he left his cloak beside me and ran out of the house. She kept his cloak beside her until her master came home, then her husband. Then she told him her story. Flip the script. The Hebrew slave you brought us came to me to make sport of me. Again, most likely scared that Joseph would tell. Did she flip the script? Very, very evil. 18. But as soon as I screamed for help, he left Joseph his cloak beside me and ran out of the house. When his master heard the story his wife told him, saying, "This is how your slave treated me," he burned with anger. Joseph's master took him and put him in prison, the place where the king's prisoners were confined. But while Joseph was there in prison, the Lord was with him, and God, showed him kindness and granted him favor in the eyes of the prison warden. So the warden put Joseph in charge of all those held in the prison, and he was made responsible for all that was done there. The warden paid no attention to anything under Joseph's care because the Lord was with Joseph and gave him success in whatever he did. Now, today's prisons, for example, people are in jail for a long time, whatever, they get niceties like extra food or sometimes or get to work in the kitchen, this, that, so they get out of their cells or whatever, so they leave their cells, and maybe get a little extra food and stuff like that. But here, this guy was actually running. So God was really with him. That's the end of chapter 39. Okay, bye.